there's going to be a lot of noise in the background with this recording, so bear with. Going on right now is that I left my council and I'm looking to set up home here. But the thing is that I've done everything backwards, because the thing is with the hostel stay, I've done everything on my own. Okay. My last tenants, because I said I wanted to leave and I wasn't going to leave them a forwarding address, and I didn't. And they kind of just let me leave. And I'm thinking, cool. Okay. So I came here, and at first I was going to take a studio flat in Crawley, but then I thought, no, I'm not going to do that, because I wanted to stay as close to Brighton and Hove as I could. So what I actually did was I tried to get in touch with CMHT and Brent Mind back in my old borough, and they said that what actually had to happen is that Brighton CMHT had to request Brent CMHT for my information in order to get the ball rolling. So it's not necessarily that mental health would help me with housing, but if I'm registered with you and Brighton CMHT, then Brighton Council might be able to step in. But you know, I haven't been here very long, so.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we need to get all that kind of set up and get you kind of plumbed into our local mental health team.
Yeah.
So, just sort of from what I can see in your notes, I can see that you previously have been on medication, but it doesn't look like that's been prescribed for a while. When did you stop that?
Last September.
Okay, and you were taking
aripiprazole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you find that was helping things, or?
Did I find that what?
That it was helping your mental health?
No, because the thing is that they were basically prescribing me medication when the problem was that there were crimes being committed against me, which there was evidence for.
Okay.
So basically, hang on.
Okay.
Basically,
Those
so
fucking
lovely, okay,
let me tell you something right now, right? Them birds are a fucking nuisance. Seriously, like, it's cute for like the first few weeks, but then afterwards it's just an absolute nuisance. It's ridiculous.
Mental health services were being abused in order to cover up the crimes that were being committed against me, not only by my own neighbours but also by staff members.
Staff members from the mental health team, or
not just mental health team, but also the charity that acted as relocation agents and some of my neighbours. So basically, in order to cover all that up, in order to cover up all the premeditated harassment and everything that's going on, they basically misappropriated and misused the mental health services in order to basically try to discredit me and to ignore what's going on, which really leads me to think that there's something really, really badly wrong here. Because I'm thinking, if I'm reporting crimes, which there is literal evidence for, like, I'm not just making it up, there's decades of research. The United Nations, it's so bad, it's actually so bad and so prevalent that the United Nations is investigating it. Okay? So with all these things considered...
What crimes were sort of being committed at that time?
Well, chiefly electronic torture, remote electronic torture and psychological torture.
Okay, how were they doing that to you?
Well, I had a scan. I've had a scan twice for chips. First of all, there are chips in my body.
Okay.
And with those chips, they can pinpoint my location.
Okay.
And they can actually fire electronic weapons from where they are. The way it works is that, first of all, there are people hired who have a long criminal rap sheet.
Okay.
the ones who operate the electronics, they're normally the ones with a long criminal background or quite a serious criminal background. So what happens is that they're given a switchboard, and with that switchboard, it's got a list of different functions. So if they want to burn somebody, if they want to use acoustic weaponry on them, directed energy, electromagnetic frequency, they press a certain button and then a person gets hurt.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so there are other victims and other people who have actually been involved in these crimes that have spoken about this in extensive detail. There's a whole hierarchy of people who are involved in this. And the thing is, I have evidence for all of it. Like, it's circumstantial because the proof that
What evidence do you have?
I have evidence of corruption committed by Brent Mind, committed by Mind head office in London. I have evidence of harassment from neighbours that were continuously being ignored and not dealt with. I have medical records which include, one of the most compelling evidence for what I'm talking about is talking about severe gum loss only on one side of my jaw. Like, I've got gum loss everywhere, sure, but there's on one particular side of my jaw, which happens to be the side of my jaw that was continuously fired upon by acoustic weaponry. So the dentist back in Brent, Raven Park, she has evidence of completely unnatural gum loss, right? And then on top of that, the GP surgery back in Brent, where I used to live, they said that my pee had white blood cells in it. And yet when I pressed them about what was going on and why there was white blood cells in my pee, they wrote it off like it was nothing. So basically, I've been misdiagnosed repeatedly. Not only with my mental health, but also my physical health. I've been misdiagnosed repeatedly and deliberately in order to cover up everything that's going on. Because, I've got most of the symptoms that correspond with radiation sickness. I've got hair loss, my immune system is acting up, I've got white blood cells in my pee. A lot of my symptoms
white blood cells in the urine can be normal. It can be kind of contamination from the outside. So that might be why
So basically, she just said, oh, it can be normal and it can be contamination from the outside. If it's caused by contamination from the outside, then doesn't it mean it's caused by a sickness? Do you see how they're trying to do word salad out here and trying to have you flustered? So already, I've been here a few weeks now. Lie after lie after lie already. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let's continue.
sent it off to the lab to look for infection and it was normal. That might be why they sort of downplayed that, because that's not an unusual thing.
Yeah, but she said there was outside contamination and that it was normal. So which is it? And if it's normal, where is the outside contamination coming from? Where is it coming from? You see these people, you see how these people don't tell the truth?
In women. So at the moment, do you feel safe in Brighton?
I don't feel safe anywhere, but the thing is, if I'm in Brighton, the way I work is this, right? I can't earn any money right now because, my mental health and my physical health are constantly misdiagnosed, right? So that's going to affect my ability to work and my ability to earn money. Then you've got the fraud element. There are people who keep defrauding my accounts, okay? And trying to prevent me from finding anywhere to stay of my own accord, right? So that's 2. And 3, I'm being psychologically tortured as well because I'm going through narcissistic abuse. If I'm not going through it here, I'm going through it online. My online presence is crawling with people harassing me as well. So, I've got stalking to deal with, I've got fraud to deal with, and I've got all that to deal with. So I'm thinking to myself, this, right? The main purpose of all of this being done to me is to render me homeless, have me institutionalized, or kill me, right? So I'm thinking, if all that is going to be happening to me, where would I rather be? If I'm going to be homeless or I'm going to be institutionalized, would I rather it be in London where there's next to no natural life, next to no natural surroundings, there's no sense of community over there, everybody's on the make, or would I rather it be here where I'm close to nature, which basically positively affects my mental health, where even if I was homeless, there would be a sense of community because there's homeless people everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So when it comes to choices of that nature, I have to go where I know that whatever happens to me, I'm going to have a strong sense of community, I'm going to be close to nature, and I'm going to be in a place that actually makes me happy, which actually stabilizes my mental health. So those are the choices that I was left with, and that's why I'm here.
Okay. And so at the moment, are you in the hostel, or are you...
I'm in the hostel right now. Because of the fraud, I have to wait for a new card to be... I have to wait for a new card to be delivered to the nearest Hove branch, the nearest branch which is here in Hove. And the problem with that is that it could take up to 2 weeks for a new card to arrive. So by the time the 12th of the 12th of August comes around, and the manager needs money for me to stay an extra month, I would have the money, but I wouldn't be able to take it out of my account because I don't have my card. And I need my card for online transactions.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, you talked about me sort of getting the mental health team involved to help you. I mean, do you feel you'd be kind of happy to see them today if they, is that...
See them
to
today.
sort of talk to them? Yeah, I mean, if I could organise that.
Okay, is there any...
I mean, I need to speak to them. I have to obviously give them a call and speak to them, but I just think that it would be beneficial to get you sort of plumbed into them quite quickly rather than leaving it, because then you can get that help as well.
Yeah.
Do you feel that's something? So you'll have your mobile on you, will you, if I speak to them, and then I can I can call you back and let you know what their plan is.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, do you, I know you told me, I said to you, do you feel safe? And you said you didn't feel safe anywhere, but you don't feel that you're in immediate harm from anyone? You don't feel...
The harm is never immediate, it's always remote. So that's to ask me that question is a moot point.
Okay, because you feel that, okay.
It's not even that I feel. Like, for me, it's not a feeling. No. Nothing is a feeling. If there's evidence, there's no feeling. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's objectively happening. So I'm sorry, but no, there is no feeling.
You feel vulnerable at all times from it, rather than
again, the vulnerability is not a feeling. I'm actually a very strong person, and I can handle a lot. So I don't feel vulnerable. I am vulnerable because the government is not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Sorry, I didn't realise what I was saying when I was saying it.
So I don't feel vulnerable. I am vulnerable because the government is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. In fact, they're doing the opposite. They're caught up in wrongdoing, and they're trying to use mentally ill people in order to cover that up. That's what my problem is.
Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll have a chat with them, and I'll see if I can sort of organise for them to see you. Yeah. And I'll give you a call back on your mobile if that's okay. So if you have it on and switched on, then we can I can give you a call back when I've spoken to them. Is that okay?
Sure.
All right. I will be in touch shortly.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bye.
Well, you heard all that. So she was as good as her word. She called the mental health team. This is what transpired.
Hello?
Hi, is it possible to speak to Fanny and Deacon, please?
Speaking.
Hi, it's Dr. Bell ringing again from Trinity, your registered GP. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay.
So I spoke to the mental health team and they are happy to see you. What they're going to do is they're going to try and work out the best place to see you, because normally they just invite you up to Millview, which is sort of where they do all their outpatient things. But actually apparently they don't have any rooms there today, so it might be they actually offer to come and see you at home. But they're going to call you if that's okay on your mobile, so just look out for a call in the next hour or so, I should think.
Okay.
And they'll organise them to see you.
Alright.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Is there anything else you need from me today?
No, that's great. Thank you.
Brilliant. All right, well, let us know if there's anything else we can do. Just get in touch with us, okay?
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Alright, bye-bye. Bye.
Alright, so probably judging by yesterday's little occurrence, or yesterday's little meeting, oh shit, it's breaking underneath me. Back. Alright, so judging by yesterday's little meeting, you know, probably the brief was don't give her any attitude, which is why they're extra saccharine. They do that sometimes, so that I can calm down long enough to be triggered all over again when they decide to gaslight and stonewall me. That's what they normally do. So yeah, the GP was very polite, but again, not truthful. But what I'm gonna do in the next part is I'm gonna show you the clip that I show you the clip of the conversation that I had with the mental health practitioner. Now, he asked me the same question she did. Do you feel safe? I said yes. The reason I said that is because I didn't feel like repeating myself from what I said to the GP. Well, you all are gonna see it anyway, so I'll leave that for the next part. Take care.